Nigerians continue to face difficulties in getting petroleum products. Now, what are the factors responsible for the unending scarcity? We shall look at this and more in the next 30 minutes on Business Nigeria. I am Tolu Lokpe Ogunjobi. Thanks for joining us. Warm welcome to you. Now, motorists thronged filling stations in anticipation of getting petrol as scarcity continues in many cities across the country. Meanwhile, the Department of Petroleum Resources has announced that it has constituted special intelligence monitoring teams nationwide to ensure prompt delivery of products to designated filling stations. Now, the monitoring team are expected to enforce the government's approved price regime and ensure that the right quantity and quality of product is dispensed. The DPR has, however, stated that the 2 million naira sanction against depots selling above a pump-regulated price and the 100,000 naira fine per dispensing pump for filling stations found to be selling above approved rates are still in force. Meanwhile, the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry has called for the urgent liberalization of the downstream petroleum sector for unfettered private sector participation and investment. The chamber also called for a clear definition of the role of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, saying it should not be an operator and still have regulatory powers, adding that the refineries should be operated as commercial business entities in order to improve efficiency and reduce the burden of the refineries on the nation's treasury. The Nigerian government has been called upon to address the current fuel scarcity facing the nation. Experts in the oil and gas sector say government must do something urgently to alleviate the ongoing sufferings of Nigerians. They added that the difficulties involved in getting PMS, popularly called premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol, is affecting price of goods and services and also manpower loss. They believe that this, in as much as it is necessary to restructure the nation's oil industry, the authorities should devise a means to cushion the effect on the citizens.
Government should come out, tell Nigerians the challenges that they are facing, and I believe that together we can now pay the price and wait for when things will change. I mean, we just need a lot of openness at this time because the queues are growing by the day, and we are hearing that fuel are coming in, but we are not seeing. We don't know where the fuel is going. So basically, we just need much more openness from government. Let us know the challenges they're having. And I believe that the citizenry will appreciate it, appreciate the effort they're doing. We shouldn't be going through this thing for one single day. I mean, with the resources we have, with the brains we have, with the facilities we have, we shouldn't be going through this for a day. So it's a shame that a country as big as ours, with our potentials, are going through this.
In the short term, the best government can do is to call on Nigerians to reason with the government. But this is a time where we need to probably import more to cushion the pains. And we can now create a gestation period to put effective planning, internally domesticate our refinery, and do something about supply gap shortages, and also do something about our strategic reserves. But as we speak, what the government needs to do is to see how they can calm down the nerves of Nigerians. And if it means incurring more on exchange rate differentials and subsidy imports, there is a need to do that just for this time frame.
Interesting. Need to calm the nerves of Nigerians. Now, joining me in the studio to discuss this is the Lagos Zonal Chairman of the National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, Tokunbo Korodo. And also joining me from Abuja via phone is the National Operations Controller of Independent Petroleum Marketers Association, Mike Osatuyi. Many thanks for joining us, Mike. Thank you. Yeah, so let's start from the studio now. A lot has been said. I've been very optimistic about the minister getting to the end of this, but the reverse seems to be the case. The queues keep getting longer by the day, and Nigerians are groaning. What do we go? What do we do? How do we move from here?
Well, Tolu, let me appreciate the opportunity you're giving me to even part of this program. Come to the question. We can, at least, I happen to be the first person that have made it known to the public, even as early of this month, March, informing Nigerians that the way things is going on at our loading ports, we may have a lingering fuel crisis that may last till the end of this month. People thought I was joking. Thank God I was finally vindicated by the submission of the GMD and the minister, saying that this situation will linger for the next 2 months. Well, it's a very sympathetic situation and also a serious embarrassment to this nation. Even when I was coming, I saw the pains on the face of Nigeria queuing. They're supposed to be observing the public holiday at home. Because there's work tomorrow, everybody must find a way of fueling their car in anticipation of tomorrow rush and get to the office. Well, the situation still remains the same. And let me also give it to him, the minister, for even have the boldness to apologize to Nigerians and also to tell us. But I've never seen any Nigerian minister that will wake up and be bold enough to tell you the situation of things. So I gave it to him. But he should, and if I thought he want to make submission, should be in a very diplomatic way. It was just so direct, and that one gave room for the panic buying we are seeing. Though we can't even say it's panic per se.
Yeah, because
even the fuel is not there, for instance. Even as we are talking right now, the NUPE have done well, but to be on the side of the masses by ensuring that anywhere we're having fuel, we prevail on our members to be on ground and to assist Nigeria in lifting this fuel. Some have been there and said at 6:30. One of the depots just opened by 12 with the excuse that even I thought they want to load, they have just few liters to load. So it's cut all over. Still, it's not encouraging at all.
Now, let me hear what Mike has to say. Now, you're in Abuja, Mike. Now, what is the situation in Abuja? You're a key player in the Independent Marketers Association of Nigeria. How is the supply in Abuja, and what do you think is responsible for this unending scarcity?
Yeah, thank you. The situation in Abuja is the same thing as we have in the whole country. The key is very long and unending. And I can tell you that the problem starts from bad planning on importation, which has led to system failure. And you can recollect that we have said it several times in the paper. Even I can also agree with Mr. Korodo that we have talked about forex monopoly, we have talked of monopoly of NPC. We have also talked of the deviance of shifting from the 60-40 ratio importation, which has been on for so many years, 60 to independent importers and 40 to the NPC. But they went back and reversed to 78% to themselves and 22% to the private importers. And the worst part of it is that the template for the first quarter is grossly unrealistic. Grossly unrealistic, which we have said that for any genuine importer that we sell petrol to marketer at 77 naira, he has to part with minimum of 2 naira per liter. And if even NPC will even come out and tell Nigeria the truth, the one they are even importing, they are making loss on it. So the first thing for the second quarter now, as a solution, is to reverse and revise that template to make it realistic. And they have to also dump the monopoly toga, which they put on.
Interesting. Now, back to the studio now. There is this belief that some people don't want some things to work. The president said it, I could remember clearly during the presentation of the budget. He said some people just don't want change. Do we see that playing out in the petroleum sector?
Well, we can't rule it out because I think I have submitted severally, even if not here, that we are having some element of these cabal activities still at work. Because it's a situation whereby went from Atlasco, the pump, let's say 50,000 liters of water to the headquarters of System 2B in Mosimi, no little drop will miss. But just pump 1,000 liters of any type of petroleum product through same pipeline, a single drop will not get to the end destination. Then who gave an insight, if not an insider, to the finders that we're about to pump so product at so hour, be prepared. So unless this cabal or this bad element were able to be fished out and flushed out of the system, we may still have. That is why I also challenged the minister that though he may have genuine intention, but you can't just pack all your eggs in one basket at the same time. It's not possible. But you are faced with lingering fuel scarcity, and you are at the same time talking about reorganization at the same time. People that their size will affect will frustrate your effort. You should know something like that.
Exactly.
And you should prepare. First of all, face the lingering fuel crisis. Let's put it into the money and correct it. Done. Then any other policies that will be also assist you to sustain that, they can follow. But at the same time, the same hour, the same minute, the same second, you want to achieve everything overnight. It's not done that way.
Now, Mike, let me come to you on this issue of reforms. I'm particular about these reforms, restructuring of the NNPC and all that. Now, would you say this is a step in the right direction, or it's also having its own effects on particularly importation? We already agree that there's a gap, but what do you think about the reforms in the sector? Because some are saying some people just don't want these reforms to come to fruition.
We want to reform, Nigeria want to reform because we must move forward. But the question is that, do you even plan well for what you have on hand? Which is not. And we can see it very clearly that the system has failed. But that's not the issue. I mean, that's not the point, that we don't want to welcome reform. We want to move forward because we can't be where we are. But I think the minister, he has all the power, he has all the facilities to do a good planning, which has failed. And let me tell you something. I think there is a gap between the major stakeholders and NNPC. You cannot do it alone. You cannot dump more man, and dump the private importers. And I think that you have the monopoly of wisdom, right? And I must tell you that NNPC have limited structures and facilities to withstand massive importation for national consumption. So it has to be a symbiotic affair between the operators and regulators.
Interesting. That brings me to issue of Ipman, Moman, because I thought the major marketers, few of them had started importing. NNPC was doing 75-80% at a time. So does it mean that the Totals of this world, the Capital Oils, the Mobiles of this world are not bringing in products at the moment, or the Forex challenges is why they are not doing that?
Well, as an insider in the depot right now, I can tell you categorically, I've not seen of recent where major or any independent markets are bringing fuel into the depot. Everybody depends largely on whatever little the NNPC will give. And also, as he rightly said, Mr. Maya rightly said, there is, the NNPC have no enough facility to dispense their product. And if they don't have that, they still make a do with the facility of both Mama members and some independent marketers. But if we look at it on throughput arrangements, and these are the same set of people you are not empowered to bring in. They be in the business, and gradually you are chasing them away. They are not likely, unless they don't want to be frank, they were not happy with the whole thing. The same Nigerians that rise up to the clamoring for change, you don't be surprised tomorrow. Their change may read different interpretation. So that is why this government should not fail this time around. This is the time we need positive action. Nigerians are sovereign. They are complaining. Look at we too in the industry. We can't allow our members. It is not our it's not our fault for the product not to be available. Yeah. But because we feel the pains of Nigeria, that is why we still plead with our members, come what, please, forget about the holiday. Yeah. Come to the depot. And at the end of the day, nothing's forthcoming. Go to the capital market. We happen to be the major, the major depot being used by NNPC. They have limited product to dispense, even to only Mega, not to others. Go to Folawiyo, same way. Atio and NIPCO, they are just rationing. They loaded 45, 40 trucks. The depot that can load over 100 per day. But then what are we rationing? Go to Mosimi, who happen to be that belongs to the government. Still the same thing. They gave me major about 45 yesterday. Today, they are still rationing. Ibadan, they didn't load anything. So, and if there is no way, because independent marketers are more than members. Yeah. And they should give them the same template. Because they need it. Because the independent service stations are outnumbered out of the major. And if there is no product at NNPC depot for independent marketers to get it at ease, there is no way we will not continue to experience this fuel scarcity. Government should open what they've closed. We need massive importation. When we get massive importation, then allow all depot. We have over 50 loading points at Apapa. Why is it so difficult for government to be patronized about 4 or 5? Then what is the business of others? So I can say government is even part of the pains Nigerians are passing through.
So restricting
yes.
some restriction.
We don't need to be too strict. We should be a little bit liberal. Especially when it comes to the fuel.
Let me get a final word from Mike. Mike, Alhaji Korodo has also confirmed the issue of massive importation, and also our energy expert Bala Zaka, who spoke earlier, also talked about massive importation. Do you see that as a way to go now, or what do you think needs to be done to address the situation now? Not a long term, a short. What can we do in the immediate to solve the solution immediately?
Yeah, the solution is what Comrade Korodo have said, and I'm also agreeing with him that they should open up the importation system, they remove the monopoly, and create enabling environment for the importers. Like I can see, I watch Minister talking of partnering with CBN to make products available for importation. We have been clamoring for this thing for many months, but they refuse to use them. If they make products available to the importers at official price, we have people who will bring in the products more than what NNPC can do, and who have the facilities, they have the network, they have been doing it for years. We have said it severally, but I think the minister have now listened to what we have been talking since all these months. But it's just unfortunate that we are experiencing what we are experiencing now, because the government and the system refuse to listen to people who knows better.
All right, Mike. We'll go on this short break now. I still have Alhaji Tokunbo Korodo here, Peng, and also Michael Osatuyi of IPMAN, as independent petroleum marketers, to discuss more on ending fuel scarcity. We'll be right back. Okay, Mike, welcome back to the show. I still have Mike Osatuyi from Abuja, and I have Tokunbo Korodo in the studio with me here. Now, Mike, I want to say this. I know you're an independent marketers. First, I want to know how many of your members are still getting products with this situation where we have where the loading has become erratic. That is one. And two, don't you think some people are somewhere frustrating the effort of the government?
Yeah, thank you. As Comrade has said, that a depot where you can do about 400 trucks per day, and you are being given about 30 trucks or 40 trucks a day, which is about 10%, means that 10% will be rationed among marketers. So that would tell you that my members are not getting more than 10% of what they ought to get, right? And let me say something about sabotage or saboteur or something. We're in this country for so many years. If we have enough supply, there won't be any sabotage. If you have about 40 marketers pursuing 10 trucks, there's going to be problems. They're going to be under the table cutting. But if you have about 200 trucks for about 40 marketers, then there won't be any problem. It's a supply issue, not loading issue. Like Amikodo has said, Nupeng, Ipman, we are ready to load to our stations. But when the product is not there, what are we going to do? So it's the supply problem. It's planning problem.
All right, then a word from you too. Where do we go from here? Nigerians want fear, and they also want sanity. Remember now, for the first time, the minister has come to say we now know the amount of crude which we produce on a daily basis that we export out. And before now, they said it wasn't accountable, that it was just we had conflicting figures. I think there have been some things he has actually done right in that sector, which we should acknowledge.
Well, we are not part of policymakers. They are in the best position to say what they know best. But for us, we deal with physical things within our area of jurisdiction. And also we need to hold up that there is no enough fuel. Even I plead that this week we just enter now, I think urgent thing needs to be done because the thing is getting even out of hand at the depot right now. So, and if you get out of depot, which means we may experience additional hardship. I wish we don't pray. Because most of the depots, they're exhausting what they have as a present. And there's no vessel coming in or at bay waiting to be discharged. So, and if such thing is not quickly addressed, we're in for another ugly situation.
Right, let's see how it all unfolds. Many thanks, Alhaji Korodo, Lagos Zonal Chairman of Nupeng, and also Mike Osatuyi, the National Operating Officer of Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria from Abuja. Thanks for joining us on Business Nigeria. Thank you so much, sir. A lot has been said, liberalizing the sector, improving supply. Enough, we need more products into the system so that Nigerians can heave a sigh of relief. And also an issue with Forex. I think the central bank has to also come up with blueprint of how importers and marketers can get Forex to bring in petroleum products, at least before we can get our refineries fully functional. Well, on that note, that's the wrap on Business Nigeria for today. Thank you for watching. I'm Tolu Lokpe Ogunjobi.